Hello chaps and chappets, and welcome to this special Kickstarter video for the game Andoria Battlefields. Now, Andoria Battlefields is a tower defense, card drafting, dice combat game where players are going to be going up against each other in a sense, because basically you're all living on the same planet and you're responsible for your clan or your tribe. And these mysterious portals have opened up and these monsters are coming through. So you're going to be trying to defend your clan by putting out heroes to attack these monsters, but other players are going to be controlling those monsters which are attacking you. And this game is for 2 to 4 players. But for the purposes of this video, which is going to be a playthrough, I'm going to show you how a 2-player game plays. So without further ado, let's go to the table. Each player will receive one of these battlefields. You have this blue zone here, which is your starting zone for where you place your heroes. Then you have this red zone up the top here, which is the portal where the monsters will be coming in. If at any time 2 monsters arrive in the blue zone, that player is eliminated. Or if 2 heroes arrive in the red zone, that player wins immediately. In the middle of the table, I have placed out all the hero tokens and the monster tokens. I also have a deck of cards for the heroes, which correspond with all the heroes that are in the game. And also there's a deck of cards which correspond with all the monsters in the game. I also have some combat dice, I have some money, and I have some damage tokens. Each player will receive 5 hero cards. They look at them and they can choose to keep them or discard them. So in this case, I'll discard these 2 cards to draw 2 new cards. And this will be my starting hand. You can only discard 1 time at the beginning of the game. Next, the first player will receive 2 money, where all the other players, in this case a 2-player game, the second player will receive 4 money. And now we're ready to start. So starting with player 1, what will happen is beginning of every player's turn, they will gain 1 card from the hero deck to add to their hand, and they will also gain 2 money. Now it's the recruitment phase. You can recruit as long as you can pay any of the recruitments heroes to add to the board. There's also some spells like this fireball, which you will pay the cost of to use, but in this case I'm just going to recruit this knight for 1 money. I find the token that belongs to him and then I place it in any of the blue bars that I wish, well, anywhere on the blue strip. So I'm going to place them there, and I'll place their card out like so to remind me of all their stats and their special abilities. While we're doing that, let's quickly go through these. What we have here is we have the knight who costs 1. He has 2 life points, and he has a special ability called Ram, which lets you roll an extra dice when attacking if you've moved before the attack. We have the amount of attack dice that you roll, the amount of defense dice that you roll, the distance of the attack, so this would be 1 space adjacent, and the amount of spaces that you can move. So I could finish recruiting if I wish to, but I'm going to continue and I'm going to recruit this soldier. Again, it's going to cost me 1 piece of money, and I add a soldier to the board. I'm going to place him there, but this one has a special ability. He has the doppelganger ability, which allows him to recruit a second unit. So I'm going to place 2 of them right next to each other. And then I'm going to finish my recruitment phase, and I'm going to go to my move and attack phase. So these guys move 1, so they're just going to move 1 each, whereas this knight can jiggle along 2 spaces. Now there is a hand limit at the end of your turn. If you have more than 6 cards in your hand, you have to discard just to 6, but I've got 4, so there we go. Now it's still player 1's turn, but what will happen is the player to the left of that player will then draw 3 monster cards, revealing them like so from the top of the deck, and they can, if they wish, spend their money to recruit monsters to add to player 1's board. So in this case, player 2 is going to spend 1 money to buy the Tangleweed and 1 money to buy the Acolyte. So player 2 would do their displacement. The Tangleweed has the impassable effect, which means that no creatures can pass over it or through it. But the bad news is it doesn't move. And the good news is, though, it has a barrier. You may recruit this in the first 3 rows and it cannot be moved. So I could place Tangleweed there. The Acolyte has the ability to heal. So what I'll do is I'll place them next to that, and then I will move them because they can move 1 right next to the Tangleweed. Any remaining monster cards will go into a discard pile. So now it's player 2's turn, and they're going to be sat opposite player 1, so they're going to have their zone heroes that are going to come and save the day, and the portal is going to be opposite in this case. That player 2 is keeping their original 5 cards that they have, so they will take 2 money to add to their 2 additional money. They will draw a new card from the hero deck, and they will then choose. Okay, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to pay a big 2 money for this Seraph, because that's quite a powerful creature and it moves 2 spaces. It has a 3 attack and it has a 3 defense, which is pretty cool. And I'm not going to just leave it at that. Player 2 is also going to... got 2 paladins in hand. I'm going to play one of the paladins for 1 money and add the paladin there. Now we go to our move phase and attack. And obviously the paladin only moves 1 space, whereas the Seraph moves 2. And now we go over to the player on my left, which in this case is player 1, and then they will draw some monsters. Okay, so we'll see what we get. We draw 1, 2. Ooh, there's a very powerful monster there. 3. Player 1 only has 2 money, so they wouldn't be able to recruit that, so that would go into the discard. So it's down to this Medusa and this Acolyte. I could buy both, but you know what? I'm going to spend 1 money to buy the Medusa, and the Acolyte will go into the discard. We'll add the Medusa to the battlefield here in this portal, and the Medusa can move 2 spaces, which puts them directly in combat with the Seraph. So the Medusa rolls 2 dice to attack, and we have 2 hits. The Seraph has 3 dice to defend, and he misses completely, which means that 2 damage go through. He has 2 life points. He has been killed. So that was pretty cool. The Medusa didn't even need to use her special power, which is the double attack, which would have been a 2nd attack. So Seraph has been killed and will go into the discard pile. And also player 1 will get a reward for killing a special creature. You see that all the heroes and monsters come in 3 levels. Level 1, level 2 and level 3. If you kill a level 1 you don't get a reward. If you kill a level 2 you get 1 money in reward. And if you kill a level 3 you get 2 money in reward. So player 1 gets an additional piece. So now we're back to player 1. Player 1 collects 2 money. They draw another new card, and we can now recruit. What I will do, probably, which is a pretty cool idea, is this ranger I've just picked up. I will recruit them. I will spend 1 money. Ching. I will take their figure, place it here for the moment. And I may also... actually, I'm going to spend 1 money to do the fireball. Now the fireball is a spell, and what I can do is any enemy unit of my choice receives 1 wound. So we will do that with the Tangleweed, because the Tangleweed needs 2 damage to be killed and removed from the board. And at the moment it's blocking me. So there you go. That is my turn over for player 1. Oh, actually, I haven't moved, have I? Ranger moves 2 spaces, and because he is a ranger, he has an attack distance of 2, so I can shoot this acolyte. Let's go and do some combat. So the ranger does an attack, and he gets 1 damage on the acolyte. That would kill him. Let's see if the acolyte with his 3 dice can defend against that, and yes, they can. So the acolyte stays in play. That would signify the monster turn. So now player 2 will choose some monsters. So player 2 only has 1 money. And luckily 3 1 money monsters have been revealed. Now there's a nice amount of array here. We could choose the goblin, which has the doppelganger, which means when you recruit this, you recruit a second goblin, which would be nice against the soldiers. We also have this troll, which takes up 2 columns, which would block the soldiers. And we also have this salamander, which may attack diagonally, so it can attack one soldier, then attack the other. So I am going to go for the troll. Player 2 adds the troll there, and he's going to place the troll in the zone there because it will then block these 2 soldiers. So what we'll do is the troll will advance by 1. The tangleweed cannot move. It does not move. It is impassable. It is a barrier. And then the acolyte. What can we do with the acolyte? We will, instead of attacking, this unit may remove a wound marker from an adjacent friendly unit. So I might do that for now. I'm not going to move them, and I'm not going to attack them. So that's the acolyte. So that's the monster's turn over. Back to player 2. So things are looking pretty grim for player 2. They have no money. They have 1 warrior, which is in a line here, which is which they could pass quite easily. But there's this Medusa that can arrive in their safety zone pretty quick. So what we're going to do? First, we take 2 money. Then we draw a new hero card. Oh, and look at this. It's a gold blessing. I may immediately receive 2 gold money. Whee-hee, that's a bonus and a half. So, what are we going to do as player 2? Well, we could get some soldiers in. That would cause a bit of distraction for player 1 then. So, I'm going to hire some soldiers for 1 money. And I will probably put this mage in it as well for 1 money. So I spent 2 money there. And I will then place both my soldiers here. And then I'll place my mage here. It's now the movement phase. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this soldier's special tactical positioning. And I'm going to move this one diagonally in front of that one there. And this one obviously is not going to move. The mage is then going to advance 1 space, and so is the paladin, 1 space. Player 1 is then looking at monsters and deciding what to do, and is going to probably take this hellhound because he's quite useful. The salamander is very good as well. So yeah, he's going to spend 1 money on a hellhound. This hellhound is coming into play here. He's going to back up the Medusa because he's going to need to. So, movement. Hellhound moves 1. Medusa can move 2, but she can only be able to move 1 because of this soldier there. So there's going to be combat. So the Medusa attacks with her 2 dice. She has a 1 tap. She hits him once. Soldier defends. He defends easily. That's good then. The Medusa can then have a double strike. She may attack a second time. She gets 2 hits this time. And the soldier, he cannot defend, and so he bites the dust. So this soldier has bit the dust. Someone is grieving and decided he wants to go into the next space. But yeah, the Medusa, she can, if she wants to, continue her second movement. And she decides to. So back to player 1. We collect 2 money. We draw a new card. Oh, it's another fireball that we have here. Oh, okay. And then we decide what we are going to do. I'm going to use the fireball for 1 money and use it on the acolyte this time, and that will take them out entirely. So the acolyte is dead. leaving this lovely little space here. I am going to then probably spend no more money, I don't think, due to the fact that I think I'm going to need to put some more monsters on the other player's board. So player 1 is going to stop their recruitment phase, and they're going to do their movement and attack phase. So in this case, these two soldiers move 1 to there. This ranger, who can move 2, I'm going to actually move them 1 and have them attack the tangleweed. And I'm also going to have the knight do exactly the same. He's going to move 1, and he's got his ram ability. So I'm going to do his ram ability attack against the tangleweed first, probably. I'm going to put the ranger back. I'm going to do the attack from the knight to the tangleweed first. So the knight's ram ability gives him an additional dice in attack. So let's see if we can do some damage. And we can indeed. 4 damage against the tangleweed, who blocks with 2 dice and only manages to block 1. So he would take out that, which means that 3 damage gets through, which would take away his 2 life points, meaning that the tangleweed is hasta la vista. So that's actually worked out quite good for player 1, because they can continue their second movement there with the ranger, and this, sorry, that was the knight, and the ranger can then move his 2 spaces to there. So they are close to winning. If both of these characters get here on player 1's next turn, it's game over. Player 2's monster choices, not looking too good. We've got 2 spells and 1 expensive monster. Player 2 only has 2 money, so they could buy this behemoth and probably try and take out the knight or the ranger. But I'm thinking maybe to spend 1 money on this reinforcement, which would let me go through the monster deck and choose a monster of level 1. So I'm going to choose a goblin instead. I now don't have to pay for that. And then I'm going to spend the other money on the power of the beast, which means in the next round a monster unit of your choice gains +2 dice in their attack. And I'm going to use that on one of the goblins. So the goblins I'm going to put into play in front of the knight and the ranger there. And then I'm going to use the power of the beast on this goblin here to attack the knight. So this goblin who's been powered up doesn't use 2 dice in combat, but 4. We throw them on the floor like so. No, we throw the 4 and we get 4 damage on this knight. This knight then rolls 2 in defense and is eliminated. So this knight has been removed. This goblin can either stay here and maybe attack the next round, but it's actually going to advance. The second goblin, who is attacking the ranger and hasn't been powered up, just rolls 2 dice, gets 1 damage. The ranger then defends and blocks both. So the ranger stays in place in combat with this goblin. That's a shame that this goblin's already moved, because if they'd stay there next round they would have 2 attacks against the ranger. But hey ho. Now the troll is going to move and he's going to attack one of the soldiers. So the troll is ganging for the soldier on the left. He manages to get 2 damage. The soldier then blocks only one of them, taking him out. So this soldier says bye bye, and the other soldier says, I'm going to get you next time, troll. So we're back to player 2. Player 2 collects 2 money, collects a new card. Oh, it's a it's a level 3 unique monster. Well, hero anyway. I've got 2 money. You know what? I'm going to save my money for either my next round or for putting monsters on player 1's board to try and prevent them from winning. I'm just going to go straight to my movement and action phase. So the mage is going to move there. The paladin is going to move there and cause an attack. And the soldier's going to... No, actually, you know what? I was going to say the soldier's going to attack, but the Medusa's quite strong. So I'm going to use the soldier's special ability and tactically position myself behind the paladin there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now these 2 behemoth monsters are going to take it out on each other. We roll for the paladin. Ooh, wow, baff, baff. He gets 2 taps attacks against the Hellhound, who manages not to defend. So he takes 2 damage, which will wipe him out. So how the tables have turned. We remove the Hellhound from game, and it looks pretty good. But will player 1 get some monsters in the way here? Player 1 doesn't have much money, but they need to put some monsters on the board, otherwise they can't stop player 2 from winning. So they're going to spend 1 money on this Succubus, I think that's how you pronounce it, and I'll also spend 1 money on this Salamander. So I need to block these heroes here, so I'm going to put the Succubus there and the Salamander there. They will have their movement. This Salamander moves 1, and the Succubus moves... She can move 2, but she can only move 1. She can also fly over. But unfortunately, I can't put another character on top of another character. If she was there at the start of her turn, she could have flown directly into that space there and took out the soldier. But she's going to have to fly just to there and have a fight with the Paladin. And just to finish movement here, we will put the Medusa in the scoring zone. So there's 1 monster there. If another monster arrives, it's game over for player 2. Let's go to combat. So the Succubus attacks with 2 dice and does 3 damage. Now the Paladin, he could have an extra dice. He can have a reroll, sorry, of one of his defending dice. If there was a player, if he had a hero character adjacent him, but there is none at the moment. The soldier is still way behind, so he still rolls 3 dice, and he blocks 1 damage, which means that he takes 2 damage, which kills him. So bye bye Paladin, and the Succubus is going to advance 1 more space of our 2 movement. And we continue. Player 1 collects 2 money and a new card. Ooh, a stone wall. What is player 1 going to be doing on this turn? Are they going to buy this Archmage, recruit him, and add him to the board? He's pretty powerful. Or is he going to try and do something cunning, like put a barrier in front of something or someone? I might try that actually. I'm going to spend 1 money as player 1 to buy a stone wall. Stone wall can be placed in any of the first 3 rows, and guess what? I'm going to place it there. It's a barrier. It cannot be moved. Adjacent friendly units receive +1 when defending, which is a bonus. That's not what we're going to do, because on movement, his doppelgangering soldier is going to chicken it out and do his tactical positioning to move it 1 space diagonal. And then we go to the Ranger, and the Ranger obviously is going to hit this Goblin. So the Ranger, he attacks with his bow, and he does no damage with his bow, which is good because the Goblin would be able to defend against it anyway. So, hey! So we have a bit of stalemate going on up here. Let's see what monsters player 2 can pull out of the bag. We have an assorted collection of wonderful chewable sweets. Player 2 hasn't got much choice. They can hire 1 goblin or 2 goblins, which would be actually 4 goblins if you hire the 2. This guy's a bit too expensive. He's a level 3 dude, and he's tough as nails, and he shines and shimmers like a special Pokemon card. So we won't bother getting him. We'll just go and get 1 of these goblins. So some more goblins are being added to the board. We're going to add 1 here to try and create havoc for this soldier here, and we're going to put 1 here because he's got a clear run here, obviously. So this one's going to advance 1, this one's going to advance 1, and this one's going to advance 1. We're going to have combat with this soldier. We're going to have this troll try and take down this wall, and we're going to have again this goblin taking on the Ranger. Okay, so round 1, fight. Goblin takes on soldier and does 2 damage, which means that the soldier needs to block 2. He only blocks 1. He is out of here. Round 2. Troll versus wall. Wall. Fight. We have 2 for the troll. The wall defends 2 as well. So nothing happens there. So next up we have Goblin against the Ranger. Goblin rolls. He misses completely. So the Ranger stays in play. So on player 1's board, nothing changes. So player 2 collects 2 money, collects a new hero card, we have a spell. It's a tornado which will allow us to displace someone. We won't be able to use it, unfortunately, there because that monster has already arrived at their destination. And that would be cheating in a way, I suppose. I think we have to go for it now because it looks like player 1 is going to be nasty. So I'm going to pay 3 to hire Rupert. And he's going to be placed there because he might do some useful things here. So that's 3 money gone. And it's time to move. So our mage moves down 1. Our soldier moves down 1. And Rupert can move 2. Can't you, Rupert? Yes. Let's have some combat. So our mage rolls 3 dice and sees what he can get. He taps him once. Can the salamander defend? Not at all. So 1 wound on the salamander. The soldier now does his attack and gets nothing. And nothing happens here. Things are getting tight, so player 1's going to spend 1 money to get another Medusa. So player 1's going to add this Medusa in this column here to try and take out Rupert. She moves 2 spaces and she moves the ground as well. That mage felt the shockwaves there. And guess what's going to happen here? Oh, this succubus is just going to fly over this soldier. Ooh, this is going to be dangerous stuff now. It could be anybody's game. But we got 2 combats to go anyway. We've got this Medusa and this salamander. Okay, the salamander now with the mage misses entirely. So Medusa with her double attack is going to try and take out poor old Rupert. Oh dear, what a shame. Poor Rupert. With 3 damage with her first attack. Rupert rolls 4 dice. I've only got 5 dice here, so let's do this. He doesn't block any of them. And so he's instantly dead. So that very expensive Rupert was wiped out very, very quickly. And because he's a level 3, that means that player 1 is going to get 2 Spondoonies. So player 1 collects 2 money, and then they collect a new hero card. It's a gold blessing, which they immediately take another 2 money. Woohoo! Rich, 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 rich. Now he could hire everything in his hand and try and get through everywhere. So should I do that? Should I do that? Yeah, let's do that then. So for 4 money, if I buy 4 money, we hire a priest, we hire an archmage, and we hire a paladin. And we're going to place them everywhere that there is not a space. So like there, and like there. We're going to do our movement phase now. The paladin can move 1. The archmage can move 1. Has a distance of 2. So it might have been advantageous to put him there. So either attack that goblin. Doesn't matter. Too late now. The priest moves 1. And then we have the wall, which doesn't move. We have our soldier here. Do you know what I'm going to do? He's going to sneak behind enemy lines with his tactical positioning to there. And then all we have is this combat between the ranger and the goblin. So will the ranger make toast of the goblin? He gets 1 hit on the goblin. Ow! And then the goblin doesn't defend, so the goblin is actually toast. So player 1 has a triumph against the army of goblins by defeating 1, and his ranger advances 1, which means that he's got 1 guy in his scoring zone. Woohoo! And because player 2's got no money, he can't recruit any monsters. So it's just a case of using the ones that he has on the pitch to move. So this goblin moves down and is going to attack the priest. This goblin moves down, he's not going to attack anyone. This goblin moves down and is not going to attack anyone. But this troll is going to attack the wall. So we have 2 combats to play out. The goblin and the priest. Sounds like a song. Does 1 damage. And the priest manages not to do any damage, but takes some damage. That doesn't make sense. So Priesty, 1 point of damage, because he has 2 life points. And now Troll against Wall. I wonder if Wall would actually talk like that. Anyway, Troll rolls 2 in attack. He does 1 damage. And in fact, there is a goblin next to him, so he actually rolls an extra dice. 2 damage. Bonus, 2 damage against the stone wall. Let's use this dice to defend the stone wall. A piece of cake. Walk in the park, the wall says. The wall is still standing. Even though this goblin gave this troll some help, the wall is still standing. So back to player 2. Player 2 collects 2 money, draws a new hero card, and we have a ranger. What are we going to do? This doesn't look good because this succubus can win quite easily, and this Medusa has a clear route, whereas this salamander is blocking his path. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 money on this tornado, so I can move a hero or a monster 1 space adjacent in a column or row. So I'm going to go into a row and move the Medusa there, so this soldier can attack them. Then I'm going to spend the other money on the ranger and add a ranger just there to try and cause some carnage. So let's do the combat for the ranger, the soldier and the mage. We shall start the mage taking out the salamander, hopefully. 2 taps. 2, that's what you say in French, tap. I tap you, I paff you. And the salamander doesn't roll anything. He already has 1 damage, 2 extra damage, he is dead. So salamander is removed and is going to make some brownies and toast some marshmallows or something maybe. Now the soldier goes for the Medusa. Hopefully he's got a shield which is reflective. He's got a shield, but it's not reflective. He does no damage whatsoever. So there's a stalemate here. And now the ranger against the succubus rolls nothing. Oh dear, doesn't look good. And there's a stalemate here too. Player 1 looks at the cards that he has in front of him. He sees that the power of the beast is going to be the most potential one, so he spends 1 money to buy that spell. So he's going to use the power of the beast with the succubus to fight the ranger. So the power of the beast spell gives 2 extra dice, so it's 4 dice in attack for the succubus. We do 4 damage. Can the ranger manage to get 2 double shields? No. The ranger is dead. So the ranger has ranged their last free range thing. Leaving succubus to gently fly into this space here, meaning that this player 2 has been eliminated, leaving only player 1 left as the victor. So there you go, that is Andorian Battlefields, and that is how it plays. Wait a minute, that's Andorian Battlefields, and that was how it plays. I hope that you found this video informative and it's pointed you in the direction whether this is a Kickstarter for you and your family or not. So all that remains for me to do is to say, if you want to support this Kickstarter, there's a little thing that's just popped up on the screen just now that you can click on and it'll take you there. There's also in the show notes down below a link to the Kickstarter so you can go and back it there, and also there'll be something in the end credits as well, so while you're listening to me sing and watch all these people's names go past, you can click on it as well. So all that remains for me to do is say thank you very much for watching. As I said, this video, hopefully it's been informative for you and you've enjoyed it and it's been a pleasure. Like this video, share this video, have fun with this video, remix this video if you want to. It's up to you. You can go and check out my Patreon to help support me making some more stuff and video reviews, because that's what I do normally. And until next time, play nicely with each other, and ciao for now. Just sitting at the